Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Football Quick Fix. I am Richard from the Dipsy Dudes. This week's show is going to be a bit brief. I'm actually away for most of the week. So the Dream Team and the Dipsy Dudes Divisional Championship review will be back next week. So the way that game week 6 went, good riddance, to be honest. It was fantasy football Armageddon. I mean, an average of 34 points per team. Ridiculous. The players should have to come out and apologise for how poorly they did. But you know what? As I always say, that was then, this is now. Let's briefly look at what will be happening in game week 7 and the major talking points. The major talking point, I would say, is the absence of Wayne Rooney and Aaron Ramsey. Two of the most selected players in the league are out because of suspension and injury respectively. So who are you going to bring in instead? The thing is, you've got a lot of money to use actually, so it's not too bad. It leaves you quite a few options. Looking right now, if you're looking for straight swaps as it comes to the strikers, Diego Costa is the obvious shout. We all know what he brings. We don't need to break it down. I mean, 65% of managers out there have Diego Costa, so he's self-explanatory. If you're looking for something a little bit more out there though, despite their loss at Crystal Palace, there's still a lot of interest in Alua. He's one of the most popular players being brought in this game week. With Leicester playing Burnley at the King Power, it's hard to argue with that logic. He's cheap enough that if you wanted to go back to Rooney in 3 games' time, you could. The same goes as well for Pele at Southampton. He's currently the most informed striker in the game at the moment. And with Southampton up against Spurs, who haven't kept a clean sheet at home in the league since August, it looks like that form could continue. You could also lump in Sacco and Abel Hernandez into that list of cheap options. One of the outside shots I want to look at is Mario Balotelli. Will this finally be the week he scores? He's got 2 assists in his last 2 games, with Liverpool playing West Brom, even though they are coming off a very good win against Burnley at home last game week. I see Balotelli as a left field shout to finally come good, especially as he's only selected by 5% of managers, so that's got to make him an option just for the fact that he's not selected by many. Thing is, it is a gamble. He hasn't played very well in the league at all, and he's had, 5 shots in 4 games, not scored from any of them. It's high risk, high reward for Mario Balotelli. But what about a straight swap for one of Rooney's Man United teammates? RVP made it 2-2 last game week. The thing is, you would need an extra £2 million on top of that one to be able to afford him. So it's going to make it difficult for that one to happen. So what about Falcao? 2 assists in the last 2 games. Isn't really classic for a striker who's valued at 11 million, but he's coming more and more back into it. He's getting more game time under his belt. Will that class finally show through? Speaking of Man United players, the Man United player of choice at the moment is Angel Di Maria, which brings us nicely to replacements for Aaron Ramsey, the dashing Aaron Ramsey, might I say. Angel would be a straight swap, as he's currently in great form, excluding game week 6, but hey, who is in form in game week 6? It's a simple transfer option for you there, Ramsey for Di Maria. Fabregas also falls into that same category, as people will rush to him, though Cest is up against Arsenal on Sunday, tailor-made for him to score, surely. Looking out for other straight swap options, maybe Steven Gerrard, who's averaging a goal every 3 games at the moment. Not bad form for a midfielder. Could the veteran be worth a shout? Sticking with Liverpool, the obvious player to go for at Liverpool if you're looking for a midfield option is Sterling. 3 goals and an assist in his past 6 games, 5 of which he started, 1 sub-appearance, makes him the in-form Liverpool player. He's also scored with every shot he's had so far in the league this season, so he's got to have at least 1 shot against West Brom this weekend, right? At least 1. Looking at Man City, they've got Silva, who's coming off 2 assists against Hull, against a Villa side who have conceded 6 goals in the last 2 games and scored none. He's another straight option for you, straight swap from Ramsey to Silva. Well, that's some players for you to consider in game week 7 as replacements for Rooney and Ramsey. But until then, and until the start of game week 8, I will be back there. Thank you very much for joining us for the Fantasy Football Quick Fix. It'll be a full episode for game week 8, so I'll be back then for more. But until then, thanks again for watching, and good luck for game week 7. Will you be in game week heaven? Have a good one.